We recently did a complete review video on the Canon 4000D, and if you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description below. And the response to that video was incredible. On the one hand, lots of people are really interested in the Canon 4000D, and on the other hand, a lot of other people are really put off by the idea of a cheap, bare bones DSLR camera. But despite the fact that a lot of functionality has been removed from this camera, there still are a number of redeeming factors. And today I'm counting down 4 reasons why you should still consider getting a Canon 4000D. So our first reason for considering the 4000D, or T100 if you're in the United States, is the price. The Canon 4000D is the cheapest DSLR that Canon sell. You can pick one up brand new for around £230 in the UK or $270 roughly in the US, with an 18 to 55mm kit lens, and in some instances a bunch of other freebies depending on where you go. Now, generally speaking, you're going to be hard pressed to find anything for that price that takes semi-decent pictures. And this brings us nicely onto our second reason, which is the image quality. This camera actually takes excellent images. It has an 18 megapixel crop frame sensor, and in the right light conditions can turn around really clean, sharp images. Even more so if you pair it with some decent glass. Now, we used the Canon 4000D at London MCM Comic Con and turned around some really nice portraits, although we did cheat a little bit and use a 70 to 200mm f-stop 2.8 Canon L lens. The size of this camera is actually our third reason. Not only is it small and compact, making it ideal for throwing in your travel bag, but it's also extremely lightweight, weighing in at a mere 436 grams, making it ideal for the amateur travel photographer. And this brings us to the final reason, point number 4, which is the ability to connect the camera to your phone via the Canon app. Yes, you can quickly transfer photos to your phone, you can edit them there and then upload them to your social media, which makes the Canon 4000D a perfect camera for social influencers and Instagrammers. So I definitely recommend this camera for an absolute beginner. The lack of complex menu systems means that you can concentrate more on the photography side of things and less on the technical side of things. Essentially, it's for someone who really wants to learn the basics of setting their aperture, ISO and shutter speeds. It's kind of like your first motorbike. You learn on something like a 50cc or a 125, and as soon as you pass your test, you start to move on to bigger, better bikes. Or you move on to the test that allows you to ride bigger and better bikes. And this is exactly what this camera is. It's a first-time beginner's camera, which helps you to develop a foundation in photography and actually takes pretty decent pictures. But as soon as you've mastered the basics, you will be itching to get something a little bit more complex. So there's 4 reasons to consider getting the Canon 4000D. Like I mentioned before, we've done a more in-depth video on the 4000D. If you're interested, go and check that out. Additionally, if you have any questions or comments on the Canon 4000D in particular, then let me know down in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, do consider subscribing to the channel. But in the meantime, stay creative, imagine, implement and inspire, and I will catch you next time on KaiCreative.